it's the boat doctor out here in this 27 Ultra Centrecab. Very nice boat. Actually, this is the one that handles really good. It's a 2750 Ultra 2023. Must have a fire somewhere. The smoke's coming in. Anytime you get the flies flying inside when you're on the water, if you get a lot of flies, when you get this overcast, this haze, 10 to 1, that's smoke from a fire. Just a little heads up. So anyway, he does have still a small leak. That's why I put this here just to see. It's just in your tuna tubes. And you got one right here too, underneath the center, a little bit. Now I can't test the wash down because the box is right there, so they need to install that. You can see the wires there. And then, I don't know if they still got some leaks back here. I see some water, but that could be from the back splashing in. I'll just have them check all the hoses, and that could have been because I turned that pump on. But I have the valve off, so you shouldn't get no water in there. So I'll just have them check all those fittings again. You can see right here, and over there, and then right here on the dampness. Okay, batteries I think were a little low. Because when I went to turn it on, the radar I don't think came on. Then once I went on combo and charged them up, then it came on. One thing I did have a question when I turned this on right here. You know, the bait box did work before the wash down. It just had leaks, but you can hear a humming. So what that's doing, now I didn't turn it on the yellow, I just turned it on the other, so now this has worked. But everything powers up when you turn that on. I don't know if you want it that way or you want to physically turn it on. See how this turned on and I did not touch the power button? And your stereo will turn on. Your lights up here does work. You got grab handles, good windows here. You can see that haze. So then you got your tuna tubes. I'm going to turn them on. And to get them going, just get going a little bit. And then it'll force water. Once you do that, then it's priming the system. Washers. See the water right there? Then you hit the wiper, then it'll hit the washers. So you got window washers, port wiper. That works. I'm drifting, so I got to watch where I'm going. Lights. That's the blue lights. Spotlight's the rear light. Cabin lights. Up there work. Anchor light. I'll turn that on. Windlass. See how that dropped off? Now see how this turned off right there? That means, oh, now it turned back on again. So that means them batteries should be maybe checked. See how it started? As soon as I hit that, I drew some power away from that. So I better write that down in my notes. Right here. I'm going to see if this will work if I go on to all. Right here. And I see the tugboat, I should be missing him. Now I'm going to do that again. I'm going to hit that anchor. See how I didn't shut that screen off? So load, test, batteries, used, windlass, screen turned off. And then 7 need to leave. To run everything. Okay, so that's in my notes. Now I am drifting a little close over here. I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to turn the key on here. I'm going to make sure your motors are trimmed down. Hit your start button, and you'll see that coming up here. And then if I want to just spin this real quick, see how that says standby, standby, and standby? I'm going to kick that back until the boat just moves. If you want a faster turn, turn the wheel just a little bit. And then it says system scan confirmed. Forward, reverse, that's how I'm spinning it. Now they're in neutral. Now if I want to run a single lever, I can just hit this here, and then you'll see up here it shows a little icon with a single lever. Then over here I'm going to go trim assist. I turn that off. That gives you all your fuel flow. Neutral, they're both running. So now I got a single lever, I can just hit this lever. Now to get this to center, just hit center and it'll throw your guy back. You can see that bridge is right behind us. Now to get radar overlay, you got a GPS antenna, and I'm sure, pretty sure, but I could be wrong, but that radar, open array, I don't know if that's a dual range, but if it is, then they need a heading sensor, because if you see the heading up here, it ain't reading, but you get quartz over ground. So this may take a heading sensor to get your radar overlay. And then if you want that radar to work in your depth finders, just push this power button, hit the transmit, transmit, transmit. That's both fish finders, your 3D, plus your traditional, and that's your radar. Okay, now then you just hit X out, brings you back. Now you got your regular high filter, that's 200 kilohertz, low filters like 160. And this is your 3D live scope, basically. If you have your line down there, you can read it. This is set, that's transmit. You want to just hit that, that turns that off. If you don't want to see this, you just go like this and it brings it over there. If you want to hit the screen over here, that if you want to see tides, you can see what the tides are doing right here. Or just go back, that takes you out. You want to change the layers, whatever's highlighted, that's in the layer function. You want to get rid of that, you just go over here. If you go and see how the fusion radio's up here, if you don't want it, just block it out. Then you go over here and you can get your fish finder mode on your gains, high and low, and your clutter. If you want data, you just go to data. So then you got all those other functions, like say just go home, and your tides, your list, your settings, your fusion stereo. If you want it, it pops it up. Get rid of it, you can turn it off, raise the volume, change the channel, go home again. Now you just want charts, you just hit that. Jordan Point, that's right over there. You can get rid of the photo overlay on the land if you like. That's just in the when you go like this and layers. Then you go to here, but see I have this on radar overlay, but it ain't picking it up. And there's your 3D, DFF 3D. That's working really good. You can see your gains on that. That's 165 kilohertz on that. So you can go gain manual, and you can pick up more. That's 50, that's for deeper water, just so you know. And then you go automatic and it will should switch this back, because we're at gain 50, 165 kilohertz, 165 gain 50. So if I want to go into here, that's 100% gain. I can turn that down or crank it up. But I can change that in there, and then I can go to clutter is 25. You can adjust that like clutter. I'll leave that right there. And then I'll go automatic. So that's auto and clutter. Fish finder. Okay. Then you can go over into here and you go to your left and right. And gain 165 kilohertz. So that's reaching down and touching somebody. You got some fish on your left and right. a side scan. Then again, you can go manual gain, you can go here, and I can tinge that upwards. But this is all set on gain on manual. Set that up on gain on 100, go to automatic, fish finder, there you go. So that's working. And I'll go to manual. Auto. Gain auto. Flutter. We'll leave that alone. And then we got fish finder. Now they do have to, this is your A scope, of course any of the orange, bright orange, you see that afterward, that's living. And then you just hit that if you don't want that. To get into the function there, go to layers again. We're at 200 kilohertz. Now if you hit the low filter, that's going to put it to 50 kilohertz. That's for the deep water. Now the transducer should have been in between the motors. What's happened, he's got it on the left side right next to a trim tab in the motor. So if you use the trim tab, it will have interference. You'll blow out on your depth about 25, 30. If you don't use your trim tab, you can retain it at higher speeds. And I'll show you that. There's a lot of fish, a lot of boats are coming out now. Hit Furuno again, and then you hit, this is your dual navigation. I got one on fish with the depth contours here. And then I got it with the overlay here. Here's the airport over here. Then I got just the fish finder here. This gives you all three frequencies. And then you can go into this one. And then that gives you your nav, traditionals, your three different frequencies, and your 3D. If you don't want that, you just bring that back over there again. Now I'm going to hit into this automatic. See how I hit it on A? Now you're starting to see yellow. That's a fish down there. Go into here. Going just to radar. Radars works. You got a marker straight ahead. Right there's a boat. We're at what? 0.5. So you can change that by hitting this right here. Let's go 3/4. Yeah, that's that boat right there. There's a tugboat right over there. And then you got another vessel right over here, which I can see them. And you can turn this into bird's view if you like. And this is your combo, this is your 3D again. That's reading good, and you can spin it however you want it. Up, down, and zoom in, out. And we're on automatic, so Furuno there, dual fish finders. And this would give you another option. Then I made this one up real quick. So you got your radar, 3D, traditional, and map. And if you don't want these here, then I want to see what my depth is, but I got it down here, so I can just put that over there to get a bigger screen. Now, we're going to get in, now we're into single lever right here. I'm going to turn on the VHF. You just pop that there. Now, then just hit this back. There's 21. So now if you want to scan, you hit this and you just go down to scan and hit it. And then you go scan all, hit it, and then it's going to scan for you. Rear speaker works, lights work, jump seats, you can hear it working. Got lights here, lights there, lights there, lights there. Dry up underneath here. Turn this off. Lights. Anchor lights off. Okay, I'm going to stop this and go to part 2.